What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters video, and in today's video we are going to be continuing our ongoing series, taking a look at and watching along with the King of Fighters Destiny. Now this is going to be the second episode in the series, and so therefore, naturally, we are going to be watching episode 2 of the King of Fighters Destiny. Now the King of Fighters Destiny, for those of you who are not aware, is available in its entirety over on SNK'S official YouTube channel, so you can watch each and every single episode in their entirety, uncut, over there on their official channel, and I will have a link in the description if you guys want to do that. However, in today's video, we are going to be sitting down and watching episode 2. Like I mentioned, if you guys want to check out our watch along for episode 1, link will again be in the description. With that being said, however, let's go ahead and get into episode 2 of the King of Fighters Destiny. So I did make some changes for the episode 2, so for those of you who saw episode 1, you would know that I was looking for a little bit of feedback. We were trying to do a few things to try and help out with, the obvious things like copyright and so on. But I was thinking about it and considering the fact that the King of Fighters Destiny is available 100% for free on SNK'S official YouTube channel, which in fact is exactly where we're at here, watching it on their playlist. I get the feeling that it shouldn't matter too much, considering the fact that the company themselves is letting you watch it for free. So yeah, so I'm loosening up just a little bit with episode 2 to make it a little bit better presentation wise for you guys. I felt like episode 1, while we did make those changes for obvious reasons, I felt like they were a little bit much. So I wanted to go ahead and lighten up on them for episode 2. I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit because we still want to be careful with copyright, but at the same time, like I said, given the fact that they're allowing you to watch this for free on their official channel, get the feeling not going to be that big of a deal. So, judging from the comments in the comments section on episode 1, I was kind of interested to see what you guys thought about the King of Fighters Destiny, whether or not that was your first episode or first time watching it, or you had seen it before, kind of what you guys were feeling. And I had noticed that the prevailing comment that I had gotten the most of on episode 1 was the fact that while everybody seemed to be pretty happy with the overall story and the voice acting and everything that went into the series, for those that did actually see it in its entirety already, the big thing that stuck out to everybody is the same thing that stuck out to me, which is the sus animation. So yeah, I definitely think that that is going to be a running theme for everybody in the comment section as far as this series is concerned. But at the same time, like I had mentioned with episode 1, it doesn't really take me out of the series, but there are some moments. So, all right. That was a very long intro. I think it was like 3 minutes worth of intro and recap. So, at the end of the last episode, Geese had shown up at Terry's birthday party, and yeah, he gave him the present of a dead dad, basically. So yeah, rip to Jeff Bogard, right? Or soon to be rip Jeff Bogard. Sorry, spoiler alert, he ain't gonna make it. But yeah, so there's a few times in this series where I do feel like the animation does take away. Like, again, like I mentioned in episode 1, it's the mouth and the eyes for me, and I know that those are the hardest thing for, like, I'm sorry, but young Andy is nightmare fuel. I know I had briefly mentioned that and touched on that in episode 1, but good lord, this kid, it's the mouth, man. Where are your lips? In particular, where's your top lip? Kid is missing an entire lip. I think we can forgive him. And it should give all of you boys out there missing a top lip hope that he can make it with a lady like Mai. Well, there's hope for you yet. Like how I'm cracking jokes at such an emotionally heavy time for the Bogard brothers. Alright, so that flashback's over. Thank God we don't have to look at Kid Andy anymore. Good lord. I will say, though, that despite the animation, the character designs, they nail almost all of them. Like, the characters always look great. Like, regardless of some of the facial animations, from a character design standpoint, they're on point. Did I just say point, like, in the same sentence? Oh, well. Moving on. So in this episode, we are going to be introduced to a few new characters for the series, so that will be something fun that they kind of do. And like I said in episode 1, I have seen this series before. So what they kind of do is they kind of go through in these first several episodes and they kind of introduce you to the core cast. And they do so by giving them all kind of their own little plot threads and their own little things to do and introduce them that way. And this episode won't be any different. Obviously, we did get kind of a glimpse at the end of that last episode of the characters we'll be introduced to in this episode. And there's the first one. Good old Rio, right? So we got Rio there. We are going to be getting introduced to several characters in this episode, like I said, him being the first one here. So they're definitely trying to introduce all the core members of the KOF cast. Yeah, that isn't how that's supposed to work, Rio. Those are Rio problems. It's too bad Terry didn't have those problems getting on a motorcycle, because might have been able to avoid a whole lot of controversy with that ad, if you know what I mean. And I think you do.
Good one. Hey, come on, come on.
Who the hell are you? I'm the creepy looking Kyo animation. One of the things that this series does do very well, though, I've noticed, is the little moments of like brevity and the comedy. There's a lot of comedy in this series, and I feel like that is something that they really nail. They do a really good job with it. A lot of times with anime, like a lot of times the comedy can feel sort of lost in translation. It can be kind of a joke us Westerners might not get. You may not necessarily notice it lands. Speaking of, get him, Rio. You got this. Oh my god. And he did it barefoot. Look at that walk. That's a man on a mission. Yeah, a mission from God. Oh gee, I wonder who that is. Another new character being introduced. Good old Billy Khan, right? Billy Khan. It's not Billy Kane, it's Billy Khan. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that out there. Always looks like such a sleazeball. I don't know why, and it's a completely different, like... It's a different look than it's supposed to be for Billy, obviously, but Billy reminds me, every time I see him, he reminds me of Bandit Keith from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know that there's, like, very, very loose similarities there. They're not anything alike. I don't know why they remind me of each other. Maybe it's just the whole, like, aesthetic thing.
I want you guys out of my country by tomorrow morning. Brains. Every country in the world belongs to America.
But, I don't know. I always think of Bandit Keith whenever I see Billy Khan. But yeah, besides the comedy aspect of the series that they do really, really well, questionable animation aside, they do a really good job with the fight scenes. Like, the fight scenes are very, very well done, which, you know, in your King of Fighters anime series, you would hope would be the case. Pretty sure Rio's got this. I'm not a doctor, but if I were a betting man, the great equalizer, Goro Diamond. Good old Goro. That is one thing that I do remember from watching this originally years ago. I loved Goro in this series, and I've always been kind of like indifferent to Goro. I don't like dislike Goro, but I don't necessarily have like a giant like amount of love in my heart for him. So at the same time though, watching this series, I actually developed quite a bit of affinity towards him. So affinity. There's a KOF All-Star joke for all you guys out there. That's a great question, Kyo. What the hell is Benimaru doing? Should have called it Uber. All that hair and all that beauty and not much going on. You hate to see it. I know that you guys can't hear it very well, and if you're watching this series alongside me watching it, Benimaru's voice acting, very, very interesting. Sometimes when Benimaru speaks in this series, I will say, though, I don't know who made the comment. I don't even know if it was in my comment section, but I had seen somebody make the joke about this series that the KOF 15 graphics are better than this series, and I can't disagree with you. Especially in these moments where we see these effects and things. I have to agree. I feel like this is cheating. Like, Billy was holding his own, doing his thing with Rio. And then Benny just jumps in and decides to interrupt it. It's kind of like in wrestling when you have that random guy just interject himself into the middle of your wrestling match, and then the GM comes out and is like, this is now a triple threat match. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Just waiting for like Vince McMahon to come out and announce that he's the one that's organizing KOF. Ugh. Which is probably not the timeliest of jokes considering the predicament he's in right now. For all my wrestling fans out there, you'll know what I mean. Yeah, shut your mouth, Benny. You've done enough. Interrupted a perfectly good fight. I love how much gumption he speaks with. He's just like, yeah! Wish I could be that excited about things. Okay, Rio's got some definite, like, creepy mouth going on. I'm sorry, I can't help but focus on these things. I'm trying my best. Girl's like, I can't see you, but I think you're cool. You know, Benny, you can't win with all of them. Do you think that belt buckle ever, like, digs into his exposed abs like that? I just noticed that. Never thought about that. It seems very uncomfortable. It's worth it for the drip, right? Is that what the kids call it still? I can't keep up. Well, that looks like a familiar tower. I wonder who could be. The textures on the things that are supposed to be like fabric and leather and things like that, though, look really good. Here I go again about textures. For those of you who have seen my reaction videos to the KOF 15 trailers, yeah, it's a bit of a joke, but seriously, though. Those textures, though. Geese is an iPhone man, I see. I expected better. It's a joke. I'm sorry. Kind of. All my iOS people out there are just like, what the hell, TBR? He had a very important phone call. Speaking of new characters. Who dat? Who dat guy? I actually really liked his part in this series. Should have had like the yarn. It's not right without the yarn. And that does it for episode 2. So this is going to obviously be kind of the preview for episode 3 here, but yeah, guys, that was episode 2. So we got introduced to Rio, Billy Khan. We got another look at Geese, this time in the present. And yeah, we had Hyder in there at the end as well. So we got a couple new characters introduced. Things are starting to heat up. We are starting to get ever so close to the KOF tournament kicking off in its entirety. So in general, you guys, I hope you are enjoying the series. I hope the changes I made to the format this time around are something that you guys enjoyed. You can let me know in the comment section. I'm still going to be tinkering around with it, so there will be changes made to fit whatever it is that you guys would prefer, but you'll have to let me know in the comment section. This is only episode 2 and we're still working on it. But thank you guys so much for all of your love and support on these videos so far. The last one did way better than I assumed it would, so I definitely appreciate you guys showing up and enjoying it. Leave a like and a subscribe on the channel if you did enjoy the video, and until the next one, I will see you guys later. Peace.
continue.